here with you. Let's start by scooting up to the front edge of the chair and then stretching our legs into a wide V. Just be careful if your chair is a little slippery, like find a place where you feel comfortable, like you're not gonna slip off. I'm speaking from experience. And then ground a little bit into the heels, and let's start by circling our arms up and down by our sides. Think pelvis is upright, but as upright as it can be without sliding off your chair, and ribs relax down and back. And start to tune into your breath, feeling your inhales and exhales as you stretch open through your chest and upper back muscles. Let's do a few more like this. And then slide your feet in so they're closer to hip distance apart. Actively flex your ankles with elbow pits and palms forward. We'll sweep back and go forward and up, keeping the ribs relaxing down and back. As you sweep back, notice if your arms want to slightly rotate, try to keep palms and elbow pits forward. And then as you go up, same thing can happen. Try to keep palms and elbow pits facing backwards. So you have to go slow enough that you can pay attention to those couple of things. And then next time your arms go up into the air, hold, and from here we'll turn our neck from right to left. Front ribs relaxing down and back, ears back over the shoulders as you turn. Breath is flowing in and out of your nostrils. And then head back to center, arms pull back behind you, hold, turn those elbow pits forward, front ribs relax down, head slides back, and turn your neck side to side here, keeping the chin more parallel to the floor as you go side to side. All right, let's bring our head back and go back up into the air. Notice if the shoulders are up here, relax them down a little bit. And let's do ear to shoulder. Keep wrapping the elbow pits in. Letting your breath flow. And of course, rest your arms sooner if they need a break, and slide your arms back and hold back behind you, elbow pits forward, ribs down, ears slide back, and side to side with your neck here. Notice the habit to always go fast, try to slow yourself down. I catch myself all the time. When we were first doing the neck turns, I was like, oh, I'm going really quick. Not that it's not good to be able to turn your head quickly sometimes, but you're not going to be as in sync with how your muscles and your joints are feeling when you're moving quickly, at least for a while. All right, and then bring your head up, relax your arms, and let's do reciprocal arm swing, one at a time. Keep paying attention to those rotations, top arm and back arm. And then let's pause and turn your head to the right and hold the head turn as you continue with your arm swings. And then pause and turn your head to the left And continue your arm swings. And then pause and bring your head to center and tip your right ear to your right shoulder as you continue your arm swings. Going slow at first, checking on that rotation of the elbow pits. So my elbows still turn out or in a little depending on which arm it is. And when I get that extra rotation, I can really feel more pull on the muscles down the side of my neck. And then pause and do left ear over to left shoulder and continue with the arm swings. You'll notice over time that the more you can only add, pay attention to one thing at a time at first, and then keep working weeks and months and years, and you can add in more awareness. And the more things you can be aware of, the more muscle you can help your body to use more muscle to participate with everything you do. All right, relax your arms, bring your head up, flex your ankles actively. Check if your thighs tend to roll so the lines on the back of the knees point towards the floor. Hinge forward just enough that you're not gonna slide forward off of your chair. And then come back up. And we're gonna do this a couple times, so I'd highly recommend varying the angle. If you'd like to start with the block, or you can just start with your ankle over your knee, put the block in between your feet, and put your right foot up on the block, let your knee drop open to the side, sit up nice and tall, arms out to the side. Let's start with palms up, reaching out through the upper arm bones, tap in and extend. All right, next time we extend, let's change it up. Turn your palms to face forward, actively spread your thumbs up towards the ceiling. Notice this wrist has been twisting funny lately. And then bend your thumbs in towards your shoulders and extend. All right, from here, let's release our arms and do a circle with our torso around our hips and legs. And then pause and circle in the other direction. If you were to feel any discomfort in your hips here, maybe lower your foot down on the block. You can even cross one ankle on top of the other ankle. Hopefully starts to feel good. And then switch feet, pelvis upright, ribs relax down, arms out to the side. Flex the wrists, keep them in flexion as you bend and extend. Wrists stay in flexion. And now pause, extend your wrist as much as possible, thumbs spread out. So it's very common that we spend a lot of our time with palms or wrist in flexion. So for a lot of people, when they come into extension, their hands won't come all the way back. It will take a while. Even if you get that full extension, it's good to just keep working on it. This is a great stretch to do throughout the day. Just arms out, wrists in extension, thumbs spread out, shoulders relax. But from here, let's keep our wrists in extension and bend and extend. All right, and then release your hands and circle your torso, letting that left thigh drop open, taking your time to draw a full circle here. And then pause and circle in the other direction. And then unwind and uncross your ankle. You can slide the block out of the way for just a moment, and then we'll walk our feet into a wide V and inner thighs open, tilting our pelvis up tall, Arms out to your sides, palms face forward, and we'll circle up and down with palms facing forward. All right, let's stay low, right above the thighs. Really think, pelvis upright, ribs down and back. You're just gonna pull your arms back a little and then let them come back forward. But the goal is to pull back without your shoulder blades really squeezing together. And so the more your front ribs drop down and back, the easier that will be. Lift your arms a little higher, front ribs relax down and back, and pull back here. Slow and small. And lift your arms a little higher. The higher the arms, the harder it is to drop the ribs down and back. Pull backs here. And I'm just gonna hold this angle for a moment because it feels good to do so. And then take your arms a little higher, front ribs relax down and back, and little pull backs here. The ribs are gonna really wanna push forward here. All right, and lower your arms down. Okay, from here, let's keep the feet wide, extend the right leg out to the right. We'll do a pointing. It's okay if your foot doesn't come down, just try to get as much of it to touch down. If your foot easily comes down, watch, does like the inside roll up a little. Try to press equally as your right arm goes up and over, side bend. So you just keep adding in details, but you do it very patiently. But just think about it. If when you're here, your inner arch kind of rolls up, the big toe of your foot doesn't push down, that's less muscle you're using. Not only in your foot, but that pressing down of your foot goes up into your leg, all the way up into your hip. So those little details do make a difference over time, but you can only add on so many things at once. So you have to be patient with the process. All right, let's switch. Let's actively flex our ankle without just putting the heel down. Pull the top of the foot back as you take your arm up and over. Smooth inhales and exhales here, feeling the sides of your waist, the side of your rib cage. Actively flexing the ankle, actively straightening the leg. And then we'll bend and we'll extend the opposite leg out, and we'll start with a pointed foot. Try to press equally, even if your foot doesn't reach the floor. And left arm goes up and over, creating one long line from your toes to your fingers. All right, let's switch it up. Heel down, toes up in the air, and circling up and over there. Actively pulling the top of the foot back towards the shin. All right, that arm comes down, that knee bends in. If you have a block in the way, you can slide it out of the way and spin around to our first lunge, sliding your knee back under your hip. We're gonna go from an extended wrist to a flex wrist and stretching our fingers both ways. So palm of the hand towards the ceiling, elbow bent, pull your pinky finger down and back towards the top of your forearm. And then flex your wrist, and now pull that same pinky finger down and back towards the underside of your forearm. And we're gonna go finger by finger here, just pausing, letting the wrist bend down, flip back, ring finger. So this hits both the palm of the hand, the underside of the forearm, and then we flip the top of the hand and the top of the forearm, and flip, ring finger. Check your feet. If your foot's floppy, rolling to one side, whether your front foot or your back foot, again, automatically less muscle participating. Flip and do middle finger. Not that you always have to have everything participating, but we tend to, in general, in modern culture, spend a lot of time without things participating. So while you're here, you can get more work in your legs, in your feet, in your ankles. Flip your wrist the other way. Make sure you don't just pull your finger down, turn your wrist down as well for this one today. And then flip and pointer finger, squaring your hips in the direction you're facing. And flip pointer finger. And flip thumb out to the side and down. And flip thumb down and back. And I'm just paying attention here more to like squaring my hips, using my feet more, and my goodness, it's a lot more work to sit in this lunge for longer periods of time. Slide your leg forward, spin around, which is a big difference than kind of letting my hips turn, letting my feet be relaxed. All right, squaring your hips and grounding through the feet. And we'll start with palm. How do we do this? Palm face up, pinky finger pulls back towards you and gently down. And then flip, and pinky finger goes towards the underside of the forearm. Flip, ring finger, and flipping, ring finger. Flip and middle finger. Flip, middle finger. Flip and pointer finger. Front ribs relax down and back. Flip, pointer finger, small muscles, so be gentle. And flip, thumb out to the side and down. And flip, thumb goes back towards the underside of the forearm. And then release and slide that foot forward and spin back around to the front of the chair. All right, let's walk our feet wide into a V, toes point toward, forward, inner thighs open, pelvis upright, ribs down. Right arm goes up and over into a side bend, hold, move from the rib cage as you rotate forward and back without pushing the ribs forward. It's just a rotation of the rib cage. Feeling those muscles in between your ribs. And let's switch arms. Opposite arm over, pelvis upright, ribs relax down. So speaking of using more muscle, every time you tilt your pelvis upright, every time you relax your ribs down and back, every time you check your inner thighs aren't falling in and you open a little, every time you gently ground through the soles of your feet. We're not talking about strong engagement, just resistance, interaction with your body, with your breath. Every inhale, every exhale that you let your exhale finish, every inhale uses more muscle. If you fully let yourself inhale and exhale without force. All right, and then pull that hand down. Let's spin around into another lunge. So going to the right, slide your knee back under your hip, dynamic twist every time to the back of the chair. So squaring your hips, turn to the back of the chair, and then unwind at your own pace. Feel the turn through the belly button. Let's do one more on this side. Pausing long enough to feel and spin around to the other side. So just a reminder, since I'm on this topic today, like let's say my foot rolls out, my thigh rolls out, less muscle use, my back toe rolls off one side of my foot. maybe more muscle use on one side, but less on the other side of my leg. So you just keep building on the details, patiently, persistently, turning from the belly button, turning from the waist as you turn towards the back of the chair. Let's do one more on this side. And then unwind, slide that knee forward, spin back around to the front of the chair. Let's walk our feet wide here, inner thighs open. Interlace right pinky finger on the bottom, but do it behind your back, hands low. Front ribs down, ears slide back over the shoulders with chin down. Hug your elbows in and relax. Elbows hug in and relax. Elbows hug in and relax. Elbows hug in. From here, how about micro lift and lower the hands off your back? If you've got this pretty easily, try to keep a little bend in your elbows and try to keep all of your fingers evenly interlaced. And then fold forward. Maybe just keep your hands on your back, hug your elbows in, maybe lift any amount. Little bend in the elbows, reach back through the knuckles, breathing here, and come back up and switch the crossing of the fingers behind your back. It's okay to keep the hands on the back the whole time. Elbows hug in and relax. Front ribs down, head ramps back. Breathing, shoulders relax down. Next time you hug in, maybe lift and lower. Otherwise, just keep hugging your elbows in consistently. Not trying to squeeze the shoulder blades here. They'll naturally come in a little bit. And then how about folding forward, grounding through the feet. Maybe the hands lift up, elbows hug in, little bend, reach back through the knuckles, kind of ramp the back of the head up so you're looking straight at the floor. The spine is in line with your skull. And then lower your hands back down. Press into your feet to come up. And with your feet nice and wide, your pelvis upright, let's lift and lower. Try to keep sitting up tall. As you lift, the hips and torso will want to lean back a little bit. How about next time you lift your right foot up, you point and flex, and then lift the left foot up and point and flex, and then walk your feet in. Let's spin around to the left first this time, coming into our lunge, and we're gonna hold a twist. Check the foot. I tend to roll to one side of my ankle, so I'm gonna keep paying attention to that today. Twist from your belly, and we'll hold for 30 seconds. Feel the waist turn, head stacks over rib cage stacks over pelvis. And come back to your breathing. Let your inside soften on every exhale. Are you still turning from the waist? And unwind and spin around to the other side. Knee back under the hip, ankle back straight behind the knee, torso stacked. Turn from the belly button and check on your feet position, check on your thighs, collapsing in or out, and 30 seconds. Turning from the waist. Great place to practice rib breaths, because when you're twisting, you have some resistance in the muscles naturally. And unwind and slide that leg forward and spin back around to the front of the chair. Okay, let's go one more time to the left, slide the knee back, and from here, front ribs drop down, lean back any amount. Keep trying to pull that thigh bone back a little bit, and then let's drop our chin down to the center of our chest. And while we're here leaning back, how about we turn our neck a little bit right to left? Soften the forehead. Good, bring your head center, bring your head up, torso comes forward, spin around to the other side, knee slides back underneath the hip. As you lean back, if the knee goes forward, try to pull that thigh bone back, front ribs drop down, drop your chin down to your chest. And from here, how about a little tilt of the ears from side to side? Soften the temples on the sides of your forehead, the area right above your ears, the sides of your jaw. Breath is flowing. Head comes back to center, head comes up, slide the leg forward, spin back around to the front of the chair. Okay, you can do block again or ankle over the knee. Remember, great idea to vary it up. Sitting up nice and tall from your pelvis. From here, hands down low, reach out and bring it in a little bit higher. Open up and together and a little higher. And a little higher. All right, stay high, pelvis upright, open, together, and a little lower. Reach out, together, and a little lower. So here's where if you did the same thing, you might want to take your foot lower on the block or higher so that you get a little bit of variation as you circle your torso around. And then pause and circle in the other direction. Always feel free if you hit a spot and it's like, oh, it just feels good to stay there and breathe and try to let yourself relax any excessive clenching. Feel free to do that. Let's switch legs. Pelvis upright, no matter where your foot is on the block. We'll take our arms high to start. We'll bend our elbows and we'll curl elbows in and open. Lower elbows down a little. Curl in, bring them as close as they'll come and open. Elbows down a little, curl in and open and even lower. Curl in low and open. Let's go low to high. Stay low. Open a little bit higher, curl in, pelvis upright, open a little higher and curl in and open and a little bit higher, curl in and open. Stretch your arms long, relax down to sit up nice and tall as you start your torso circling around. Breathing. Pause, switch direction of your circle. Remember, feel free to pause at any angle, just right there for me. Just want to relax my hip a little bit more at that angle, the buttocks all around the top of the thigh. All right, and then uncross your ankle, and from here, let's stretch our legs nice and straight. Bring our arms up into the air, cactus arms, reach wide and bend. Reach straight up and bend. Thumbs come towards each other and bend. Let's do another set. Reach wide and bend. Reach up and bend. Reach thumbs together and bend. Let's reach wide, tap in, tricep tap, extend and tap in and extend. Reach straight up, tap in. Notice if elbows pop out, hug them in a little, extend and tap and extend. Hands all the way together. You can tap the top of your head. You can go behind. If you go behind and this happens, keep trying to slide your head back and extend. And we're going to stay and do these a little bit longer. Breathing here. Doesn't have to go back to feel more. Sometimes I actually feel more when I don't go all the way behind my head. Front ribs relax down and back. Breathing here. And release your arms down, flex your ankles. Check if there's a twist when you flex, untwist. Fold forward. Let your thigh bones rotate open a little if they tend to turn in. And come on up, and feet, outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance. Remember, when you get up, if you tend to scoot your feet back, try to walk them forward even a little bit. Ultimate goal is ankle right under the knee. When you get up, watch. Does thighs collapse in, or more commonly in, especially from the top? Back up, watch those thighs going in or out. Make sure you feel very secure. Your chair is there. Sit back. Same thing here. Do thighs want to go in or out? So for me, I had to work on not scooting my feet back. I didn't get them all the way over my ankle, under my ankles at first. I had to just go a little bit more forward, and then one day I was like, oh, I can kind of keep my ankles under my knees. I had to practice this not happening for months and months and be really aware of it. So you might just have to really work on that. And then sitting back slowly to the chair. If your feet scoot it back, bring them forward. As you come up, back your hips up as you come up. And since you're home, if you've gotten really good at the chair height that you're using, try something lower, or sometimes try something higher. So, if you fall to the chair still, it's actually better to stack pillows under your chair and go up and down with control, and that will help you get stronger faster. Okay, come around to the back of your chair. Walk back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. This is the first time I've done this today. I'm excited about it. Outer edges of the feet closer to straight, ankles closer to hip distance. Try to straighten the legs all the way and maybe rotate the thigh bones into neutral, or your knee pits into neutral. So those lines on the back of the knee point straight back. Belly relaxes, tailbone goes up in the air. How about sitting back into a chair pose here? If your knees go past your ankles, slide your hips back a little more, getting a little more length through the spine. Now your knees might be hip distance, but your inner thighs top might still pull in, so you can feel like you're slightly spreading your inner thighs apart, and it just pulls your hips a little wider here, breathing. And then from here, press into your feet to come up to stand. Okay, you're gonna step your right foot forward, your left foot back, but you're gonna try to take a pretty big stance here. So not just like a little step like sometimes we do when we're balancing or rolling off our heel. You're gonna try to step it back, and you're gonna try to turn your back foot straight. And the goal with feet hip distance apart is keep your heel down and your back leg straight and your pelvis in neutral, vertical. As you bend into your front knee, back leg straight, heel down, and slowly press out. And bend in, and press out. Ground through the back heel as you bend in, and press out, and bend in. Okay, so now you're in. Lean forward to the chair. So wiggle your foot back so your heel comes up off the floor. So when you're in a regular lunge, reach your right arm, or excuse me, if it's your left leg back, I did right leg first, so left leg is back. Left arm forward, reach across in front of the body, and twist open from the belly button. Hips stay square for today to the chair. Reach across in front, and twist open. Reach across in front, and twist open. Take your time and reach across in front. Like I notice, like when I'm twisting open, like right here I go fast. So I'm gonna slow myself down there because that's probably where I need to slow down. Bring your hand back to the chair, push off your back foot to step up. Now do left foot forward, right foot back. Try to straighten out that back edge of the foot. Ankles hip distance apart. Let the stance be pretty wide that you can keep your back leg straight and your heel grounded. And then we'll bend into the front knee and press straight. Focus is on the back leg, staying really straight, torso upright. Breathing here. Reach back through the heel a little bit more. And then from here, lean forward to the chair, scoot back so you're on the center of the ball of the foot up. Whichever leg is back, reach that arm forward, twist across the front of the body, and open up. Feel the waist turn as you twist across in front and open up. and twist across in front, and twist open, and one more like that, and twist open. Bring your hand back to the chair, center the ball of the back foot, push off to step up. Okay, let's grab whatever you're going to use for a calf stretch. Put the ball of your foot up, your heel down. Maybe your left foot steps forward a little bit. Good. Feel equal weight so you're not drifting to one side or the other. And then reach your right arm up, hand to the shoulder, ribs drop down, but head and elbows slide back. Side bends over to the left. All right, let's switch sides. Ball of the foot up, heel down. Maybe your outside foot steps forward or back a little. Watch if the ankles tend to roll to one side. Left hand goes up, hand to the shoulder. And from here, elbow back, head back, front ribs down and back. They're just going this way instead of this way. And side bends to your right. And come on up and release and step off the block. Come to the back of the chair. Step your feet like as wide as the back of the chair. Walk back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. Relax your belly. Let your tailbone go up into the air. And then from there, keep your legs super straight and maybe walk your hands down the chair a little bit, but without any bending in the knees at all. And then walk your hands back up and sit your hips back into a wide squat and maybe slide your hands down the chair there as you pull your hips back and breathing, and then walk your hands back up. All right, walk your feet pretty wide like a warrior stance. Let's bend the knees first. Bend, sit back, and then maybe walk your hands down the sides of the chair. And then walk your hands back up, straighten your legs. Now try to keep the legs super duper straight and maybe the hands slide down the chair. Breathing here, never forcing anything. And from there, press into your feet to come up. Your feet are nice and wide for a warrior stance. Turn your right toes out 90 degrees. Bend into the knee. Your left leg is always working as much as the right leg. Push through the buttocks to the heel. Nice straight leg. As you bend into the right knee, arms up, cactus arms. I'm gonna switch it up a lot, so like stay with me. Arms wide and bend. Straight up and bend. Thumbs together and bend. Extend and bend. Curl in and bend. Curl in and open. Rotate, unwind. Reach your arms out, straighten your right leg, turn your right toes in. If arms need a break, this is a good time. Left toes turn out. Bend the knee, pushing just as much energy from your right buttocks to your right heel as bending into your left knee. And then elbows bend. Reach wide and bend. Straight up and bend. Thumbs in and bend. Reach out, bend, curl in, open, rotate, rotate, stretch out, straighten the left leg, turn the toes in. You can always rest your arms in between. Turn your right toes out, 2 very straight legs. Reach your right arm up into the air. And from here, let's tap and reach. Tap and reach. Tap, reach. One more, tap, reach. Now just check It's so subtle, but does your weight push forward to your toes? Like, are your toes clenching? Do you feel the weight in the front of your foot? That's the tension in the back of the body. It's always pushing us forward. Move your weight so more weight falls into your heels so you can push through the front of your foot. And switch sides. All right, left arm goes up. And from here, tap and extend. Tap, reach back to the right. Tap, reach over. Tap, reach over. Now hold and check that weight. Again, when the back of our body is tight, it pushes our hips forward, which is then why people start thrusting their pelvis. It pushes the ribs forward, which is rib thrust. It pushes the head forward, which is head and neck thrust. So working on the back of the body, it's not always what we see when we're watching ourselves. We see our reflection. We always see the front. Good, and bring the arm down. Okay, toes turn in, right toes turn out. Bend the knee. Inner thigh opens over the center of the foot. Press long through the back leg. Reach the right arm into the air and wrist flip. One way and then the other way. Breathing here. And pull your torso up. Turn your right toes in, left toes out. Bend the knee, steer it over the center of the leg. Left arm goes up here. And from here, flip the wrist. And push out. Turn your foot in. Turn your right toes out. We're going back to 2 super straight legs, palms up. Tip over into your triangle pose. Feel the weight fall into your heels. And how about a couple arm bone rotations here? And then pull your torso up. Right toes spin in, edge of the foot straight. Left toes spin out, edge of the foot straight. Tip over into a triangle, 2 straight legs. Weight falls into the heels. And a couple arm bone rotations here. And then pull your torso up. Last one, each side. Left toes or right toes turn out. Bend the knee, hand or elbow to the knee. Turn your back hand down. Sweep forward, going along the horizon. Sweep back. And we'll do that a few more times. You can use your hand to steer your knee over your ankle. Keep using that left buttocks into your heel, reaching long, breathing. All right, next time your arms overhead, no rush, pull yourself up, turn your toes in, left toes out, bend the knee. You can use your hand or your elbow to help steer. Back leg long, palm face down, sweeping and breathing. Couple more like that. All right, next time your arm goes overhead, pull your torso up, parallel your feet. You're nice and wide. You're coming back to facing your chair. Fold forward, 2 straight legs. Lift up off your heels. Try to press equally through the balls of the feet and see if you can push your thigh bones back more with heels up. And then lower your heels down, sit back into a squat and lift your heels up here. Press equally through the balls of the feet, push your hips back here. Heels come down, press up. Walk your feet in a little wider than the chair. Push back 2 straight legs. Heels come up. Try to keep when your heels come up, your whole body goes forward. Can you still push your hips and everything back without your heels going down? And then lower the heels down, sit back, lift your heels up here, pushing your hips back, breathing here. And lower your heels down and come all the way up to stand. Okay, let's work on a little balancing. Remember, feet closer to straight, ankles closer to hip distance, and thigh bones back, so hips over heels. And if it helps to use a chair to keep those alignments, use it every time and you'll build strength in that alignment. It'll be so much better in the long run. Push down through the outer left hip. If it tends to pop out, hug it in. Hips back over the heels. We're going to do 3 rotations. Turn your foot out to the side, not your hips, just your foot, and micro swing backs. And we want small swing backs because we're trying to extend the front of the hip, turn on the back of the leg muscles. If you start swinging back farther, you'll start using more of your lower back muscles to participate. So tiny, tiny, tiny. And let's switch side. Press down, turn the foot out to the side, and tiny swing backs there. Being with your breath here, can your upper body relax a little bit more? And you also notice as you rotate, different buttocks muscles working. All right, push down through the left. I still have to scoop my heel out and rotate your thigh bone in and micro pushbacks there. And switch. Press down through the right, rotate in, and micro pushbacks there. So if I want it to get even more complex, I could rotate my standing leg thigh bone into neutral as I was doing this. That would probably require me to hold on to something as I was doing it. All right, let's go to straight leg. I start thinking about doing it when standing in the center of the room. And micro pushbacks there. All right, let's switch sides. All right, face the side of the chair, walk out an arm's length, keeping your hips steady. Take your top arm up and over. Go slow if you have any hip issues. Push your hip away from the chair a little and turn your hip forward and back a little bit. So now, just like we rotated the rib cage earlier, now the rotation is coming from the hips. And pull your torso up, and then let's switch sides. So you can turn around about an arm's length from the chair, take your arm up and over, very slowly push your hip out to the side. This is one that you want to be really conscious of if you have an area in this area of your hip, and then slowly rotate forward and back. All right, let's bring that arm down, face the back of the chair, walk back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs, cross your right arm on top of your left arm, and back your hips up here. You can work on neutral rotation of the thigh bones, grounding through the balls of the feet with a weight back in the heels. If you have that neutral tilt of your pelvis, you can check where your rib cage is. Switch the crossing of your arms. You can walk your hands closer or farther apart. Maybe your head rests on your arms. And press up. And then let's do one more. Let's do a double calf stretch. So if you have 2 blocks that are about the same size, or a rolled up, extra rolled up mat, or a half dome. Oh, here's my block. It blends in. It blended in, I didn't see it. So they're 2 different blocks, but they're about the same size. You can do 1 block, just kind of let your feet hang off the edge of it. And pushing your thigh bones back. You can do hands or forearms to the chair. How about working on outer edges of feet straight and ankles hip distance and thigh bones rotate into neutral here. And that's not, the magic place that we always want to be, but I'll tell you, to this day, after working on coming back here, my brain still goes to my habit patterns, which are not necessarily this. So it's a great place to come back to. If you're working on all of those things, keep working on straight legs, breathing. All right, come on up and let's have a seat in your chair. Pay attention to how you sit down. And from our sitting position, let's go right into a number 4. I'm going to do the second highest height because I already did highest height and ankle over the knee. So sitting up tall, reach your right arm up, hand to the shoulder, ribs drop down, ears slide back, and we'll open and curl it. Try not to rush. I've already done this week, and I'm pretty sure I was like this, and so that's kind of rushing. And when I go slower, I can feel a lot more what's happening in these stripes along my forearm and into my armpit. This is conditioning of your body for life, not necessarily conditioning your body for a sport. It can definitely help, and everything you do in your life can help with the way you perform in sports, but then there will be additional conditioning for that kind of thing, because then you often need quick movements, fast movements. All right, let's switch legs and sit up nice and tall. Knee drop open, elbow down, front ribs down, ears slide back, and going out and in. And then slowing it down. Definitely a difference when we slow down. You can pause anywhere. All right, release that arm. You can step off the block and slide that out of the way, and then we'll straighten our legs nice and long. And we'll take our arms out to the side, turn your palms to face behind you, reach through and wrap. And every time you do, like sometimes you can go down towards your buttocks, sometimes you can go towards your waist if your body allows you. Sometimes you can try to reach up a little bit higher without forcing, without the head bopping forward. All right, next time your right arm wraps, hold there behind your back, and then tip your left ear to your left shoulder and nod your head yes. Try to touch more parts of the back of your hand and your forearm to your back. We're not trying to pull the right shoulder back, actually let it drop forward here. And I said yes and no, but you can just like move it around gently, feel your breath flowing, and switch sides. Wrap your opposite arm through, any height, right ear to right shoulder. Start with a head nod yes, but then you can turn it into like a forward twist head nod, like just go slow. Feel your throat muscles, your neck muscles. Everything in your body is trying to help you. It wants you to be well. Your body is always trying to reach balance, and if it can't, it's because it's getting mixed messages. So just like when you're feeling your body, take your time, feel it. Even areas that feel tight and tense, knowing that they're trying to do the best they can for you is a really nice thought. Good, and then bring your head up. Okay, let's spread our legs out a little, arms open wide, right arm on top, wiggle the fingers around and open. Left arm on top, and we'll go back and forth a few more times, switching right and then left. Okay, next time, right arm is on top. No rush in getting there. Wiggle your fingers around, drop your elbows and shoulders down, and then drop your chin down to your chest. Soften your face. You can kind of use your fingers if they reach to pull out on your shoulders or pull out on your back muscles. Keep your ribs really down, like let your elbows weigh them down, and slide your head back for a ramp. And then open and wrap the opposite arm. Elbows drop down, maybe pull a little on the arms to spread out the upper back or the back if your fingers reach. Drop your chin down. Feeling your breath here, expanding on the inhales, letting go on the exhales. Good, and then head comes up, bend your knees into a wide V-sit. Interlace right pinky finger on the back and fold any amount. Start keeping your hands on the back and then lift your hands any amount off of your back. And lower your hands down as you slowly come up. Switch the crossing of your fingers. Doesn't matter if the hands stay on the back, just hug the elbows in a little. Fold forward with a flat back, long neck, and maybe lift the hands off your back. Breathing. And then bring your hands down and walk your feet in and extend your legs and fold forward. Sometimes I like to hold on to the back of the chair so then I won't slip as much. Of course, you might lift the back of your chair up, so be careful. And sit back in your chair for your final pose, Savasana. Let your gaze soften or your eyes gently close. Become very present with your body and with your breath. And I know because a lot of times in class we're moving and sometimes I'll cut Savasana short, but I can't emphasize the importance of this. So if you're getting into a habit of skipping, try to come back to Savasana. Remember, even the ancient, greatest yoga teachers acknowledged of all time said, movement is good for the body, stillness is good for the mind. So wiggle around, become still, feel your body, feel your breath, close your eyes. The eyes are the biggest distraction for us. So if you close them, even though it's still not easy, it allows you to turn in with more ease. Writing from Ralph Waldo Emerson that I've always enjoyed. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. He is rich who owns the day, and no one owns the day who allows it to be invaded with fret and anxiety. Finish every day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. Begin it well and serenely, with too high a spirit to be cumbered with your old nonsense. This new day is too dear, with its hopes and invitations, to waste a moment on the yesterdays. Bringing our hands to heart center, and we can start the new day over anytime we want to. This is always a good moment in gratitude for this day. Namaste.